Hi everyone, we're back with another MetaJungle NFT Artist Spotlight video, and today I have two incredible artists to share with you. It's been so much fun to learn about these guys. They are going to be Dan Hawk and Shinto K Anto. Like I said, they are incredible. They are active members of the MetaJungle. They're so helpful, and I can't wait to tell you guys more about each of them. So let's go on ahead and get into it. Our first NFT Artist Spotlight is going to be NFT photographer Dan Hawk. Dan has been a musician for 40 years and a photographer for 10 years, based out of Portland, Oregon. He is a landscape and nature photographer by passion and a commercial and lifestyle photographer by day. He loves telling great visual stories about how it feels to be in this place at this moment with these people. His style and approach is direct, clean, classic, and true. He is focused on authentic moments with beautiful light and spends an awful lot of time hunting them down. Let's go on ahead and hear more from Dan himself. Today's MetaJungle NFT Artist Spotlight is going to be NFT photographer Dan Hawk.
Hello, my name is Dan Hawk. I am a landscape, nature, and commercial lifestyle photographer based in Portland, Oregon. I've been in the NFT space for about 9 months or so. I got into the whole thing when a friend of mine started minting and selling pieces and said, hey man, you got to get into this. This is kind of a new way of doing things. It's a new way to do art. So I jumped in. I started off with some collections that are, for me, really different than any of the work that I've been able to put out in my previous career, because they focus very, very specifically on areas that I care about. And one of the things that has also been really meaningful to me is being able to take the proceeds from those first couple collections and then use that to fund donations to conservation groups that are making a difference and that have boots on the ground in these places that I love. So that's a commitment that I am looking forward to carrying on throughout my career. One of the things that's kind of interesting is that while I've always wanted to help and I've always donated work to groups like this before, this is allowing me to have proceeds, to have profit that didn't exist before. So that's pretty exciting. One of the other things that's been really fun in my time in the NFT space has been the ability to give back to others. Specifically, here in the MetaJungle Discord, you may have seen I've been co-leading the feedback AMAs with Mike Schmidt over the last few weeks. And let me just tell you that as much as I get to help other people, every time that that I go through and spend time with your work to learn about what you do, it makes me a better photographer. All of the advice that we give, we're internalizing all of that stuff, and so it makes us go back and revisit what we're doing. So I'm excited about that. I love that this is kind of where we're going with this space, that education and community are a really vital part, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know you and being part of this. Thanks.
Wow, that was such a terrific video, Dan. As we learn in the video, Dan is a valuable member of the NFT space and the MetaJungle community. He co-hosts our artist feedback AMA sessions and shares some really valuable insight. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at his collections to see where this insight comes from. So here we are on Dan's OpenSea profile. As you can see, he actually has 7 collections out right now. He has 2 Be There, Organ by Light of Night, Expansion Contraction. He has People of Portlandia, the musicians, People of Portlandia street photography, and then he has Dan Hawk drops and his new collection, Reinvention. Right now, we're going to go ahead and take a look of Organ by Light of Night. So as you can see, there still are some items available in this collection. Let's go ahead and give them a look. These are some really incredible photos. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Organ collection number 5, Can't Keep It Down. It's actually owned by Alpha Trilogy. A really great thing that Dan does that I always enjoy is reading his descriptions. He includes the basics that we always ask for, so the edition size and his name. But then he goes on to tell the story of why these photos mean what they do to him, and I've always really enjoyed that, kind of learning a little bit more about why he captured these and why he feels the way he feels about them. And I just think it's really cool to be able to get a little bit of insight into the artist's brain. And I love it whenever they share that kind of information with us. The other really cool thing that Dan does is in a lot of his collections, he actually takes some of the proceeds and donates them to charities that mean a lot to him. So as you can see in this picture that we're looking at, 10% of the winning bid for this piece will actually be donated to the Friends of Mount Hood to forward their conservation and stewardship efforts in this unique area of this beautiful state. And he does this with many of his collections. So that's a really cool component, that he takes these profits that he's making from NFTs and gives them back to charities that stand for something that he really supports. So, for example, his Oregon collection, he loves Oregon. He will tell you that himself time and time again. He's so happy to be there. And he actually takes a lot of the proceeds from this collection and uses them to put back into Oregon and to help Oregon thrive. So that's something I've always thought is really cool about Dan's work. Let's go ahead and also take a look at his Reinvention collection. This is a new drop by Dan. It just launched last week. So as you can see, it does have 2 owners, so there are still some available. This is a really cool collection. I really like what he did here, kind of taking the same subject, but photographing it in many different ways. So that's a really cool outlook on things, and I can't wait to see what happens with this collection. But let's go on ahead and take a look at the photo that he shared with us, because as you guys know, we always ask the artist to share a photo that that if a collector was making their first impression with their collection, they feel like would really represent their work. This is the photo that Dan shared with us, and when asked why he shared this photo, he says, well, first of all, it's owned by MetaJungle, so that's cool, and we have to agree, we think it's pretty cool too. And he says, second, it's from his favorite place on earth and represents the bold type of imagery that he is hoped to be known for. And I think he does an incredible job. I personally know Dan Dan for this type of imagery. So kudos. It has definitely worked in my mind. But I just really think this is incredible. I think all of your work is incredible, and I can't wait to see what else you have to offer us in the future. But Dan has been in the NFT space since May of 2021, and man, he has made an impact. We are so thankful to have him as part of the MetaJungle community, and we look forward to seeing what all the NFT space holds for you, Dan. The next NFT artist spotlight we have is Shinto K Anto, and he has been a photographer for 10 years. Shinto is an award-winning underwater photographer based out of Singapore. He used to be a full-time dive master out of the Maldives, but now uses these skills to share experiences from the unknown blue world. Let's learn more about this from Shinto. Today's MetaJungle NFT Artist Spotlight is going to be NFT photographer Shinto K Anto.
Hello friends, myself Shinto. I'm an underwater photographer and a scuba diver, currently living in Singapore. I'm from India and I started diving in 2013, and I picked up my first underwater camera in 2014. It's just the beautiful corals and colorful creatures underwater which fascinates me. I wanted to share that beauties, I wanted to share those beautiful creatures with the rest of the world, which I hope someday 1 or 2 people get inspired by looking at my photos. I'm currently shooting with my Sony A7 III, which goes inside my underwater housing. It's a heavy setup. Usually go on a dive every other weekend. I have a group of friends here in Singapore whom I met up during the pandemic, and then we made it a regular dive trip. It's not the best situations, it's not the best dive conditions compared to the rest of Southeast Asia, but we still got some incredible diving here. I've been diving here in Singapore for the last 2 years, so the travel has been impossible these days, and which inspired me to create my NFT collection called Singapore from Below. It's a collection of 25 photographs, all taken from Singapore reefs over the last 2 years, showcasing some macro subjects around these waters. Just keep swimming.
Wow, I love that video. You said it best, Shinto. Just keep swimming. You can definitely see Shinto's love for sharing his underwater adventures with all of us. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at his work. So this is the collection that Shinto actually told us about in his video, The Singapore from Below. As you can see, there are 4 owners, so there are still some available. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of them. And then I am actually going to go on ahead and take a closer look at this Purple Love, which is owned by Alpha Trilogy. That's such an incredible photo. I love it. It's so fun and colorful, like many of his works, but he does a really great job at bringing life to these subjects that I personally never even would have known that existed, but here they are, and he is giving them full life. Like, I love these photos. That's another thing that I really enjoy about Shinto's work is like Dan, he also includes the information that we asked for, so his name, the edition size, and he also includes the amount of photos contained in the whole entire collection. But then he actually gives you a description about the subjects that he is photographing. So, for example, like I said, this is an animal or a microorganism that I never even would have known existed, and he tells you about it in such a fun way. He goes, normally when people think of the word slug, they think of something slimy and undesirable, but that's not the case when it comes to the underwater world. And I think that that's just so cool, because whenever I think of a slug, it is definitely not something this beautiful. And I love that he tells us what these organisms are and shares that with us, but does it in such a fun way that makes you appreciate the life under the sea that you might not know is there if it wasn't for Shinto sharing this with us. So Shinto, thank you so much for sharing this information with us. I enjoy it. I enjoy learning about him so much. And then let's go ahead and take a look at his OpenSea profile. He has 2 more collections. This one's called Aqua Art, and this is Friends of the Deep Blue. So Friends of the Deep Blue is actually going to be a collection of adoption certificates. The MetaJungle Foundation actually has 2 of them. One of them is going to be the whale shark, and the other one is going to be a stingray. So that was really cool. And how you get this is actually by buying a piece of his Singapore from Below collection. But that's just kind of a fun utility that he offers to his collectors. And then the other collection that he has is Aqua Art, which is actually a digital collection created from his photographs. So he takes them and turns them into digital pieces, which is also a really cool experience to kind of take from all of his underwater stuff. So I appreciate you sharing this work with the Shinto, and I just want you to know how much I really enjoy looking at it and learning more about your subjects. But let's go ahead and take a look at the photo that Shinto shared with us. And when asked why he chose this photo, it says that he took a lot of time and effort in the execution to bring the photo which he had in mind to life, and it was probably the most satisfying moment once he saw the end result. And I can understand why. This photo is absolutely incredible. I've always had a fascination with seahorses, and this photo I think it's incredible. I don't really know what else to say about it because it's honestly left me speechless. I love this photo so much. So thank you for sharing it with us. But Shinto joined the NFT space in September, and he looks forward to what all is in store for him, and I do as well. I cannot wait to see what the future has in store for you, Shinto. I can't wait to see more of your work and to just keep interacting with you. You've been so much fun to learn about, and I appreciate you sharing all this information with us. Yeah, so those are our two artists this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I do. Both of them are incredible artists. Both of them are incredible people. And I'm so glad I've had the chance to connect with them in the MetaJungle community. For a chance to be featured in our Artist Spotlight, please just send me a message so we can connect. I would love to learn more about you guys and learn more about your work. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Bye.